555 hits and counting.
See what I can do here.
Andy Niese is now the hit king of the CRBL.
It's one of those things where I don't think I'll really absorb it and reflect on it too much until the season's over with, and more so when I'm completely done playing.
That record
Opposite field and up
will likely be tough to catch.
I'd like to think at least 10 more years left of competitively playing.
A lot of casual baseball players who play in summer leagues won't put in the work outside of the games, but Niese does, and he says a lot of his offensive success has to do with his work in the cage.
Somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000, somewhere in there.
That's the number of swings he takes outside of games and practices throughout the summer. All those repetitions have been key for Niese and his lengthy CRBL career that spanned, get this, over 25 years.
Being able to stay productive enough to stay in the lineup, the time I spend doing this off of the tee, just maintaining a want to do it, those are the main reasons why.
He not only plays,
14th season as a player manager.
He's compiled over 150 wins as a player manager of the Rivermen and other teams in the CRBL.
The relationships you build too and the people you meet, that to me is really in a lot of ways just as important, if not more important, than winning a game.
As the historian of the league, he produced a CRBL record book that now sits in the Baseball Hall of Fame library in Cooperstown. The guy holding the copy is Scott Stuckert, who is now number 2 on the CRBL all-time hits column.
He was an opponent of mine for 25 years, and I consider him to be a really good friend, and that really kind of sums up amateur baseball in a nutshell.
When he puts on his spikes on game day, the kid inside takes over.
I get the same feeling now at 44 as I did when I was a 9-year-old kid playing.
Baseball has been a way of life for Niese, and he's become a CRBL lifer.
I'd say behind my family and my profession, teaching and coaching, it's up there. And I don't know any different. It's just what I've done since I was a little kid. This is a chunk of my life.
Reporting in Eau Claire, Neil Hebert for Sports Scene 13. Flashy footwork, spin kicks. These Taekwondo athletes are on their way to nationals in Minneapolis at the end of the month.
2 of our guys have started when they're 3 years old. Hankster is 16 now, Antonio is 13 now, and our third competitor, Isaac Johnson, is 11, has been with us, I think, 4 years.
They started young, but they've stayed locked into the sport for a range of reasons.
Yay! 3! Hey! Stop! It's kind of satisfying when you get to that point, you know, when you get to teach others what you've learned over the years. It just feels natural to me after 12 years now. It just feels great doing this.
You get to kick people without getting in trouble. There was one match 2 years ago. I gave him like 2 pretty strong kicks, and then he started to tear up a little bit. That was one of my favorite matches.
No, Antonio's not a mean kid.
Stick it though.
He's just ultra competitive.
There we go.
He thinks those who don't want to try Taekwondo should reconsider.
They're probably missing out on something because it helps out with a lot of other sports, so then they would get better at football, basketball, soccer, and any other sport that they would be doing. And plus, it's fun to come down here.
Taekwondo might be a niche sport, but the variations make it easy for anyone to try.
There is a little bit for everybody. It's not always the high, caliber kicking, punching, danger element that sometimes you see on the TV.
It's cool to learn all this. It's cool to learn the self-defense, and as you progress farther and farther, you have more fun with it. You kind of find your niche. If you're not really into the fighting aspect of Taekwondo, you could always do the other stuff.
I've been doing it since I was 5 years old, and I tell people that the hardest part of doing Taekwondo is that first step in the door. Being able to set goals for yourself and achieving those goals, whether it's a belt promotion, whether it's winning a gold medal at a tournament, something that motivates you, and then being able to see those goals accomplished. I think that is another aspect that gets people, keep coming back year after year after year.
Being a Taekwondo athlete is like being part of a big family.
So you make new friends when you come here.
Find out that it's a little bit more than kicking and punching. It's soon becomes a way of life. And as you progress through the ranks, you become an instructor, become a teacher. You get you get involved with the sport end of it. So a lot of different outlets, I think, that interest people.
Reporting in Eau Claire, I'm Neil Hebert for Sports Scene 13.
Danielle, when she was in 2nd grade, Grace was diagnosed with alopecia areata, a condition with nearly 200,000 new cases each year in the United States. Throughout her elementary, middle, and first 2 years of high school, Grace wore a wig to cover her head. That spanned almost a decade, but now she's taking the condition head on.
In 2nd grade, alopecia areata started its course.
I more just didn't want people to know or notice.
For nearly a decade now, Regis Jr. Grace Kristo has worn a wig at all times, at school, in public, and on the court because of her hair loss. But 9 years after she was diagnosed, she had a change of heart.
The first day of this summer, I let go of it.
Grace ditched the wig for good.
One night I was just sitting in bed and I texted my mom. I said, hey, like, guess what? And she's like, what? And I just said that I was done with it. And I know that's what she's always wanted for me. And I know that's what the people close to me have always wanted. But I was always so against it. Even going without it in front of my close friends, I wouldn't do.
Grace may not have hair, but she's no different than your typical junior in high school.
We're so proud of her because obviously that would take a lot of guts for her because people still look at her and people still don't really understand it.
Everybody knows you for you. It's you can't change it, and you're beautiful just the way you are.
She wasn't actually sure if we knew about it. It's like, yeah, we know about it. It's cool. We support you. And honestly, the next day when she had it off, nobody thought anything different. It's just amazing. Like, she just fit in like it's just our girl playing volleyball the other day.
Alopecia areata is just a disease that takes away one's hair, and those looking from the outside in have nothing to worry about.
If we all know that this is a simple condition where you just lose hair, it's not contagious, that creates a much less traumatic situation for the individual. What we need to do is understand the disease more and go along with it.
If you see her on the court, going out of your way to say something negative won't affect her play.
When it happens when I'm playing volleyball on the court and someone from the other student section says something, I have to like really try to like pull it together. But at this point, and like the confidence that I have now with it, I just let it go.
Grace's support system throughout the years has helped her get to where she is now. Carefree and confident.
At this point, I don't even care. I'm not glad that I have it, but I'm glad that I have it rather than someone that really couldn't deal with it. Because at this point, I can deal with it, and at this point, I have the confidence that I don't know if everyone could have. So I think that I maybe have it for a reason and to maybe inspire others to be themselves.
For others who have alopecia areata, Grace has a simple message.
If you don't have hair, that's okay. It's something on top of your head, and that you will eventually get to the point where you're comfortable with yourself, but do it at your own pace. Don't do it at the pace of your parents or your friends. If they're telling you that you should be okay with yourself, don't listen to them unless you truly feel it. So wait until you truly feel comfortable with yourself and then be who you are. And don't force it upon yourself to, go without a wig or go without a scarf. Do it when you want to.
And a twist in the story, a couple days after talking with Grace, she tore her ACL and meniscus in her knee. But looking at the way she's handled having alopecia, we're positive she'll attack her rehab the same way.